And here I am. It's What the Fuck Tuesday. I had to remember where I was. I was going to go, excuse me, go to my cousin's house and try to do this show up there, but I cannot get my laptop to act right. I don't know. You know how I've been having computer technical difficulties the last few weeks, so I decided, you know what? Y'all see me tomorrow. How about that? So that's what we're going to do. So I'm here at the crib where all my stuff is set up on the desktop because we had enough trouble with that. So we're using that. But welcome to What the Fuck Tuesday, relationship advice live stream. We've been doing this a number of years now. Every Tuesday night, we come and we go over letters that people have previously submitted to my advice column. I used to do this column on my original blog, askheartbeat.com, every week, and it would have anywhere between 45 and 60 questions. But those were in written form. And I had all week to do them. But doing it live like this, I read the questions. It's a little different, a little bit more labor intensive, I think. And what happens, people send in their letters. My cousin chooses them. She puts them in this document for me. And then I read them to you. That's how this goes. So I hear the question the first time when you hear the question. So I don't have any advanced, practice knowledge of these people's issues or whatever. Whatever you hear that comes out of my mouth is, it's just on the fly. All right. So that's how we do things. If you want to submit a letter in the future, look in the show description down below. You'll see the link and just click it and fill out the form and submit your letter. Okay. And let me just warn you though, not every letter gets picked. We pick, the ones that sound at least reasonably sane and that have widespread interest to a large group of people. If it's a particular issue to you, you should do the private advice question. Okay, so let's start with, what is this? Usually this page is blank. It says kudos and thanks. Hi Deborah, my name is Leela. I'm a 31-year-old single female from Connecticut, and I've been loving your videos and posts over the past few months. I'm so glad I found you in someone's Instagram comments. I have an independent mentality all my life thanks to my mom and dad raised me to prioritize getting a job over relationships and marriage. It helped me become the confident, self-sufficient woman I am. I just woke up with a boyfriend of 9 months because he was not showing me the love and affection I wanted after multiple talks with him, and he just did not make me feel like he was the one I'm supposed to be with. I told him if I have to keep asking for it, then I don't want it. He did not prioritize showing me he cared. Good job. Good job. All my friends keep telling me how they're so proud of me that I broke up with him, and they're so shocked that most women wouldn't do that because he's not really a bad guy. To me, it was a no-brainer move. I can't believe how many women would stay in a relationship like that just to say they are in one. Listening to your videos just reassures me that I am on the right path and I'm doing the right thing, and I'm really happy with the way I see the world and relationships. Oh, and she's in an RN. She's a registered nurse in the emergency room, going back to school to get her doctorate in anesthesia. Sister girl gonna be balling. Wow, your videos have helped me drive my drive to keep going and keep me laughing my butt off. I love to travel internationally with my girlfriends and plan on doing so when COVID's over. I really believe we need more women like you to be seen and heard by these young girls. If these young women can't see women like us, the cycle of brainwashing to have men as the end all and be all goal will never be broken. Thank you so much for all you're doing. It's really making a difference. Please take care of yourself. Keep up the excellent work and keep doing you. Signed, Leela. Well, thanks, C, for putting this in here. This it's nice, It's nice when people, let you know that it's been an advantage to them. I mean, I don't need to know every single detail, but it's just still nice to know that what I'm doing here is making a difference. And those of you who have shared in the comments of the show, thank you as well, because this is hard work. Like every show that I do, I probably put in at least 10, 15 hours putting together them slides and making my outlines and all that stuff before we even do the show. So it's like I said, this is very labor intensive, but I just feel like it's something I'm supposed to do for you. All right. So I appreciate all your support in the forms of super chat donations, and people have been using the that Cash App thing more. And I guess because YouTube doesn't get a cut of that. They take like 2/3 almost of the super chats I found out. No, no, no. I'm sorry. They take more than a third, and I get the other 2/3. That's what it is. I'm sorry. I flipped that around. So let's start with the column. Okay, you guys ready? We have a total this week of 22 questions again. For those of you who like to keep track. Well, Shay, I couldn't do it without you, because her, supporting that side of the room, what they say, like, the back office, that lets me do what I do in the front office, because I was having trouble doing both. I was really distracted, and the answers weren't that good. I kept leaving out stuff. So this has been extremely helpful, and she is just on it. She be showing up like 99.9% of the time. When she's not, she, usually tells me, oh, I'm going to be late. I got something to do, this and that. So it's worked out really, really well. She just, like a little angel, just landed on my show. So you guys ready? Let's go. This is question one, female 22 to 30. She's out of Toronto. I have finally realized that I am trauma bonded to my ex, and that is why I stayed in the relationship for so long, 19 months, and didn't have the self-respect to leave sooner. Objectively, I can see there are many reasons why he was not a good boyfriend. Some of them are never making me a priority, being completely unable to talk about his feelings, having no value for relationships or meaningful connection with others, being unhealthily obsessed with money and stingy with it, making dismissive comments to put me down, not wanting to know or comfort me if I was upset, not wanting to spend extended periods of time with me, turning things he had done wrong around, making them my fault, constantly downplaying my value and the value of the relationship while I tried to show him that I was good enough to be his girlfriend, have a future with him, etc. We've been broken up for 3 weeks. Objectively, I can look at this list and see he was all wrong for me. Yet, due to the trauma bond, I still miss him and the relationship. I'm getting so frustrated with myself. How do I break this trauma bond? I am not in contact with him. No way will I be feeding his ego by messaging him. But what else can I do? Get your butt immediately to the nearest shrink. They're doing stuff by, Zoom and Skype and all this stuff these days. So you can see the therapist, they can see you, and y'all can talk to each other and you can work this out. Because this is right here is not trauma bond. Okay, there's no trauma here. What you did was get yourself in a situation where you was more focused on pleasing him and being with him than you were on pleasing yourself and being there for yourself. That's what you did. This is some low self-esteem stuff right here. So this don't have nothing. Don't be trying to shift the blame and responsibility off to some magical trauma bond. He never beat you. There's nothing about this relationship that is escalated to the level of trauma bonding. Okay, that you then picked up a phrase and you just running with it, that you really shouldn't do that. So what this is, this guy right here is the typical emotionally unavailable dude that I just talked about. I mean, it's like a checklist of well, not all the things, but most of the things on your list are on the video of the 25 things to watch out for that a man is emotionally unavailable. Of course, I just did that video, but all over this channel, there's videos that explain what kind of red flags to watch out for. I probably didn't put the name, emotional unavailable on it, but there's still warning signs that this guy is not the one. This dude had a complete checklist. I mean, see, my thing is this: by the time you don't feel like you're a priority, it's time. Any one of these things would have been the reason to leave this relationship. Why you had to collect this whole list? See, that's what I'm talking about. That was just a desire, a fantasy. You were just thinking, if I keep staying with him, I wish and hope, and he'll change. He'll change. He'll love me the way that I wanted to. So a dude that I'm supposed to be calling myself going out with, and he doesn't make me a priority, we're through, sir. That's it. Okay, he don't never talk about his feelings. That means he doesn't have any. That again means you're wasting your time. That he has no value for relationships or connections with other people. Didn't I just talk about that in the video? How they don't have any friends, right? Didn't I say that? Being unhealthily obsessed with money, and he's stingy with it. Okay, I mean, dismissive comments that put you down, not wanting to know you, not wanting to comfort you if you're upset, not wanting to spend time with you, turning things that he did around to make them your fault. I mean, each and every one of these, any one of these is a reason to immediately terminate a relationship you just dating. It's not your husband. There's no reason for you to stay with a man who you're just dating who treats you like this. So I don't want you, I'm glad you wrote. Don't get me wrong. But you done diagnosed yourself incorrectly. Okay? You are not trauma bonded to nobody. You was just having a silly, silly woman moment, and that you got, wised up, hopefully. But in order for you to never do this again, and this part down here about you still, miss the relationship, what is there to miss? See, the only thing you're missing is the fantasy dream that you kept hoping would come true. That's why you stayed in this hot mess. You was all on your wishful thinking Tinkerbell stuff. And so, it's never going to happen. At least you finally understand that. So I don't understand why you still missing this quote relationship and you missing him. He straight dogged you. He treated you like you was shit on his shoe. And you missed that? Do you realize what you're saying here? This is crazy. So you need to get your behind to a shrink. I don't care where you find it because once you on these internets, the person could be here in the U.S., you in Canada, but they could be here in the U.S., they could be in Italy. It don't matter where they are because as long as you can reach them by Zoom or whatever, you pay them by PayPal or whatever Venmo, all these different things people have, and then you go have your session. That's what you do. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. I can't fault him too much. I mean, because he is the way he is. This is why I keep telling you guys, don't look at him because you picked him. When he started treating you wrong, you kept picking him. That's why you stayed. You kept choosing him over yourself. Really understand what's going on here. Okay, yes, he's at fault for being a rotten individual because no matter what he says made him that way, he's as an adult has the ability to change that. He's not a child anymore. So at that point, he's making a choice to treat other people that way. Okay, well, that makes him shit. Okay, but okay, you look at him and you see he's shit. Why you keep saying, but I love him though. I love him. I love him. And you stay in there and you're getting hurt over and over and over and over and over. See, I don't understand that. Any one of these things here, you put me down, you got one time. I've left men mid-date for saying some stuff I didn't like, some critical nonsense I didn't like. You're not going to talk about me. You're not going to tell me nothing about my appearance, my hair, my hobbies, my interests, nothing. Nothing. You don't have that right. As soon as them words fly from their lips, I'll be up and out, poop, because we're not doing that. You're not going to do that to me. Now, you want to deal with somebody else who will take that stuff and will go on over there. But that person ain't here. Okay? And so that's what I say. You do, every time these guys treat you that way and you stay with them, you're still continuing to choose that man. So, somebody has said in here, well, he's this and he's that. Well, yeah, he is. But he was that way all along. He's never veered from that behavior. And yet you stayed. So, at some point you got to start giving yourself the side eye. Okay? So that's what you do. Shrink tomorrow. Well, maybe I guess with the holiday. I don't know what they do in Canada about Thanksgiving, but whatever it is, by Monday at the latest next week, you should be on somebody's couch. Question number 2. This is a female, 22 to 30 from Hobart, Australia. Hobart, Australia. Never heard of it, but okay. I am constantly struggling about this situation of where we first started to live together. My boyfriend moved in first week of August, the first 1 month. Everything is fine, but after that, I started to get stressed. We have been dating for a year before start to move in together. When we were dating, we only see each other like 2 to 3 times a week. That's where I feel comfortable since we are both independent. I was so comfortable living by myself for the last 4 years. But then we come to agree that it is time to start to live together. I took the risk because I thought I was ready, but I'm not. I get more stressed because I feel like these are in my space and take over my space where I feel comfortable. I moved here from Hong Kong 6 years ago when I was 20 and live on my own since then. Wow, she's brave because the culture is, stay with the family. Oh, interesting. Okay, my boyfriend is 33 and have son, but only come visit on weekends. I get more stressed every time because I couldn't have space for my school or have my own time to watch my TV show. It is hard to watch because they are boys. I am very girly and like to watch romance or love TV shows and movies. We did talk every time to make agreement, but I never see him do it. We do make a lot of rules where we should help each other, but it is hard. I get stressed every time because they are in my spot and not doing my way that I want it. Am I too selfish to myself? Am I sound too selfish to myself? Okay, I think she means does she sound too selfish? Okay. Most of the time, take care of the house by cleaning, laundry, and many more. My boyfriend work a lot of hours, and also not just that, he does have depression too, sometimes kind of severe. It is just hard when we try to make agreements. He just doesn't follow it much when I ask him to. He does pay rent and other bills with me as we split in half. Just small things like take out of trash, take dog for walk, clean out cat litter, and many more. It is it is just can't be me all the time. What should I do? I don't want to be stressed all the time when it comes to this. Oh, well, now that he's moved in, where are you? Oh, yeah, that place in Australia, right? Hobart or something? Let me look and see. What did I say? Yes, Hobart, Australia. I do not know what tenant rights laws are in Hobart, Australia. So on that, I'm going to say you're going to have to consult with somebody in your area who has some knowledge about that. But so here in the U.S., if you have somebody who lives with you like that and you don't want them there anymore, and they moved into your place, you have to like go through the formal eviction process. If they don't leave, you have to give them, an eviction notice. It's like this whole big deal. Like I said, I don't know what the deal is there. They moved into your place. He's not on the lease. Apparently, he just moved in, right? So there's some things that may work in your favor, but the only way you're going to know that is if you consult with the solicitor, okay, and find out what your rights are to get him up out your place. And then you're going to have to pay some money to the attorney to help you and for court fees or whatever. But if he doesn't want to move out, if you say I would like you guys to move out, I can't. I thought I was ready for this and I'm not, and I'll give you till the end of the month or to the end of next month or something like that. Then you give him some time. Then if it looks like he's not going to move, then you're going to have to get the lawyer to do it for you. But you should still at least know your rights. So I'm still going to advocate that you can, get have a consultation with attorney before all of this happens. And someone in the chat room says, oh, no, not that 50-50 thing. Yeah, because, that's why he wanted to live together. It's going to be cheaper for him. You only have to pay half the rent instead of the whole rent. Helps him have more disposable income after he pays his child support. So all of this is to his advantage. Your food and stuff bills you paying half. Your food and power bill and water bill and whatever else went up. His expenses went down. So, and then, he got this kid there and stuff every weekend. Why should you pay half anyway? He got two people around a great percentage of the month. He ought to at least pay 60%, 65 to cover for his son. Yeah. All around, this was a bad decision. I'm very sorry this happened to you. And that is, what people think that, this is the natural next step. But not every woman is meant to, cut out for marriage and living together and all that kind of stuff. It just, a lot of people, that's why on this channel, I advocate that you do everything you can to know who you are. Don't just listen to what people tell you you should be, you should want, and you should do. You have to really go into your own heart and head and figure out, okay, well, that's what everybody else is doing. But would that really work for me? Is that really what I want? I already know I don't want to live with nobody. Now we have a duplex and you live over there and we sometimes we spend the night at each other's spot or something, have dinner together, stuff, alternate play. That's ideal. That's ideal. But it's like, do I want to sleep with a man snoring in my ear, farting on me, scratching me with his hooves? No, I don't want to do that. And my husband didn't even snore, but I still don't. I've dated guys after that did, and I just don't want to do that. I don't want to. I want you to be in your own space, mess that up. That's what you do. You don't look for me to clean shit. So if it's a woman like me, then she already knows that she don't want to live with nobody. Yeah. So, but she's on it, though. She just needs to get him out of there. Question number 3, female, 31 to 39 from the UK. I've come to the end of my tether. And honestly, I don't know why that made me laugh. And honestly, cannot think of what else to do with my current situation other than end it. I've been with my partner for almost a year now. no, almost over a year. Which one is it? Okay, let's just say a year. And we have his daughter every weekend. I have a 5-year-old son of mine, and his daughter's 3. She doesn't speak a word, so I can't communicate what she is feeling when she is over. I always try and just do fun things with both kids or just the two of us if my son goes to his dad's. I'm the one that gets up with the kids, and we got both of them. I get them dressed, give them breakfast, and as I said, do something fun with them. The problem is that as soon as she comes back home and around her dad and me, she will literally do anything to keep away from me. She hides behind him. She cries if he even leaves the room. Yet when I've taken her out, she's fine. I'm at a point now where I don't even want to be in my own house when she's over because everything I do just isn't good enough. She honestly looks at me like she's terrified, or we both have no clue why or what to do about the situation anymore. I'm getting close to just ending the relationship because I would rather be alone with my son than have a 3-year-old disrespectful towards me in my own home. Any advice welcome. Thanks. Wow, you really tripping, aren't you? You, a 31 to 39-year-old adult woman, and you tripping out and flipping out and acting a zip damn fool about a 3-year-old girl. You know what? You need to break up because you're too immature to be in a damn relationship. It never crossed your mind that, you getting up and doing all this stuff for the kids. It's nice. I'm not saying the little girl's not having fun and all this stuff, but who she wants to have fun with is her daddy. Where's this motherfucker? Why you let him stay in the bed and his daughter's over? He's supposed to be spending time with his child, not you. I mean, it's nice that you do. Don't get me wrong. Of course, you live there. You're going to feed her. You feeding your little boy. I mean, it's not like you're going to let her sit there and starve. But why can't he get up with the kids on the weekends when his daughter's over? Why can't he take the kids to the park? Why can't he do something with his kid? That's why the little girl's acting like this. She's 3, so she doesn't know how to articulate that. You know what I mean? She don't know how to articulate and say, thank you for spending time with me, but I really want to spend this time with my dad while I'm here this weekend. She's 3. She's not gonna say that. A 7 or 8-year-old might say that, but not a 3-year-old. So I'm wondering why you all in your feelings about this and you never thought about this from the child's perspective. Don't you think her parents splitting might have been a little traumatic for the baby? Don't you think she might be having some feelings that at 3 she don't really know what to do with? You never thought of all that. You just thinking about yourself and how you being quote disrespected. You tripping. You know what? And if this dude saw this mess right here and he left you, I would not be mad at him because you on one right now. This is some bullshit. Yeah, the little baby want to be with her daddy. That's why she hanging around behind him and stuff. And he's a trash ass motherfucker himself. But anyway, the main number one thing you need to do is sit his ass down and you tell him, look here, you gonna get up on the weekends and you gonna spend time with both kids. And when your daughter's here, that's gonna be your weekend to do everything with the kids. I'm gonna have some time to myself. I'm gonna go to the movies with my girlfriends. I'm gonna go to lunch with my girlfriends. I'm gonna go get my nails done. I'm gonna get a pedicure. I'm gonna get a massage. I'm gonna do what I want to do for me because that's gonna be your time to spend with your child and your stepson. That's what you're gonna do. So don't think I'm gonna get up and I don't know what you're gonna make for them. You can take them to McDonald's or whatever you're gonna do and buy them breakfast. I don't care what y'all do, but you're gonna get the fuck out this house. I'm gonna have the house all to myself. It's gonna be quiet and y'all gonna be gone. And you're gonna stay gone all day. And that's what you tell him. Y'all don't understand these women letting these men get away with that kind of stuff. Soon as I got up and I'm looking at his daughter there, and that's the baby you made before I ever met you, and you in the bed and you leaving it to me. Oh no, motherfucker, you getting ready to get up. I don't even understand where they do that at. I'm just like, and he just thinking because she gonna step up that he can just lay around and lazy. I would put that baby in the bed with him and close the door. It's like, that's your daughter. Deal with it. Until me and my son be gone. This is just unbelievable to me how you let him get away with that. I'm just shocked. Question 4, female, 31 to 39 from Aurora, Illinois. Hey, Deb and Candace. Thank you so much for selecting my letter. I'm in a situation where I am sick of my boyfriend's jealousy and I need some guidance. Uh-oh. Toxic trick. That's right. That's right. Oh, and for those who want to know, my shirt today says, sometimes I have to tell myself that it's not worth the jail time. Because you know how I have that slightly violent streak. But I have to think about it. I done told you I don't really like gated communities. So, ergo, this shirt. Okay, so she says she needs some guidance on his jealousy. Before me and my boyfriend made it, quote, official, we were hooking up for about a year and a half. I was content with this. About 3 months ago, he tells me he has feelings and only wants me for himself. I said, why not? He treats me well. We've been hooking up for this long, so let's give it a shot. Well, things have changed. I am in the middle of opening up another business, which has caused me to be extremely busy. I have two business partners that I have been with for 4 years, and my boyfriend hates it because I am talking with them all the time. These two men are married and about 20 years older than me. I do not see them that way. They are strictly business partners. I have not given him any reason to think otherwise. He just really doesn't want them texting me outside of the hours of 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, but I don't have an 8 to 5 kind of job. It's gotten to the point where he wants to read my messages. Oh no, he needs to be nexted. And I just can't take it anymore. Anyone who texts me, he wants to know who it is and why. He's always making comments about how many friends I have. It's just getting annoying and draining. The arguments are getting worse, and I haven't had anyone act like this with me before. I have been single for 4 years, and I really haven't had to deal with this from any guy I have, quote, talked to. I told him this would probably get worse because my business is opening soon. He just doesn't understand. I tried to break up with him last weekend, and he cried bad. I've never had a man cry like that before that wasn't because of a death, so I felt guilty. I just feel like I'm being suffocated and I don't know what to do. I don't want to be guilt tripped to stay, but I can't stand this jealousy. Any thoughts on how to deal with this? Yes, put your steel on and let him cry. Don't you understand that that was a manipulation tactic and it worked? You let it work on you. I don't give a fuck. You could cry crocodile tears. You could cry tears, so many tears, it turns into a river and goes raging down across the land, down the mountain, across the fields, into the ocean. I don't give a fuck. Because this isn't about you and your tears and what you want and what you don't like and your jealousy and nothing else. This is about me and how I am experiencing this relationship with you. And I don't like what's going on. I don't like how I'm feeling. I don't like anything about it. It's taking the energy away from what I need to be doing for myself to advance my business, dealing with your simple shit. And so this is the kind of thing that you tell him, yeah, she fell for the tear test. The tear game, I mean. Anyway, what you do, girlfriend, is you tell him, look, this is not working. I mean, it worked really great when we were just, fuck buddies or whatever. But now that you want to have this into a relationship because you quote have feelings, this isn't working. This isn't working. I'm way too busy and I'm trying to build my business. I don't have time to be holding your hand and calling you and letting you see my text and all this kind of stuff. You got all those kind of insecurities, dude. You need to see a shrink or somebody and get some help for that because it's going to ruin relationship after relationship after relationship with women because you just want to choke the life out of them. And don't nobody have time for that. So we're going to break up. You can cry if you want to. It's not going to matter to me. I have things I need to do. And you and this attitude that you have about my business partners and my business is just not, it's not working. So I have to go. Yeah, he's insecure. He's just too stupid. And these kind of dudes, he just trying to get control of her. And somebody and it's the kind of thing that really drives me crazy about men. Okay, you want a woman that you can easily control and run and all this stuff, who's going to look up to you and listen to what you say and do all the kind of stuff. Let me explain something to you dudes. Don't ever get with a woman who's an entrepreneur. You got a woman who's an entrepreneur, that is the last woman who's going to submit to you. The last. The very last. It's not gonna happen. She's gonna dump your ass because a woman who is tough enough to go and leave a job, the security of a 9 to 5, 8 to 5, whatever, and go out and strike out on her own and take all those risks to get what she wants. That is a woman with a strong mind and determination. Now, she may not make it. She may fail. There may be some problems. She may have to make a couple of false starts. But whatever is going on in her life, that's her thing. That's her mindset. And a lot of people don't have that. They want the security of a job. They like going to knowing what their hours are. They come home and their life is like, very regimented and they like that. Someone who's an entrepreneur is willing to work 50 or 60 hours a week as long as it's for themselves. There's no clock on you, an entrepreneur. You don't really get to leave it at home. It's always there in the back of your life. So a guy who doesn't understand that and gets with a woman who got that entrepreneurial freedom kind of mindset, and you start trying to put her in a cage, you gonna always get smashed. Always. So this was a nightmare. This was never gonna work. Never. And she already evidently had this this business before this thing got really before they converted this into a quote relationship. And it was unfortunate, that she didn't. Okay, and for this letter writer, let me tell you something about the future. Don't just drift into a relationship with this, why not kind of attitude. Don't do that. You should really want to be with that man, not any man, not a relationship, not just because. Well, why not? That was a poor decision. You're very smart in your business ventures. Obviously, you're making a very successful go of it, and you're about to open up a second one. But you got to think differently when it comes to relationship. Just like you chose this business, you chose these business partners. You chose when it was time to expand your business. You make a lot of very sharp decisions based on great information, but you just come like, why not about a man? See that? Well, I don't know what happened there, but the balls that you usually be having up in the air, you dropped them. All right. So get rid of this dude by any way that you need to, and make sure you do not let him go back and forth, call you crying and all that stuff. Block his number, block him from texting you, block him on your work phone, block him everywhere that you can block him. Okay, and let your business partners know what's going on too, in case he decides to show up at the business or something like that. You might need to get a restraining order. I mean, you never know how this guy's going to handle it. But the main thing is, do not let his tears fool you. And in the future, make your decisions about men just as much as you, and just as informed and decisively as you make your choices about your business. Okay, this was bad decision. All right, you guys ready for question number 5? We got 22 questions today. So who's like, usually somebody types a little thing there, like the number slash with how many questions it is, but I don't see that today. So question 5, this is from a guy, 31 or 39, out of Glasgow, Scotland. I've been in a relationship with my girlfriend for about 3 years, he says, living together for the past 2. She is a little older than me, 33, whereas I'm 29. It's been a bit of a roller coaster, if I'm to be honest, but I do love her very much. She believes strongly in a lot of paranormal things, ghosts, basically. To give a flavor of this, here's some things that she said and done over the years. Colon. She senses bad energy in a seemingly benign room. She was, quote, attacked by a demon during the night. She was, quote, sexually assaulted by an entity during the night. After being a bit of an asshole to me for no apparent reason, she eventually said that it was due to a spirit. This being attacked by a spirit thing has happened a number of times. At one point, she left her house and stayed in a car. I wasn't there at the time. She sought out exorcist type people, paid psychics, or for courses on being a psychic and other relatively benign things like done like cleanses with various rituals. This is not an everyday thing, so I don't want to give that impression. However, I simply do not believe in any of this stuff, at least not to nearly the same extent that she does. I do try to be open minded and supportive, and even went to one of her psychic classes. It's obviously a difficult line to walk, though, because I don't want to tell her that I flat out don't believe in any of this or imply that she's making it up, because I suspect she wouldn't take that well. But I also don't want to encourage it. So my approach thus far has been brushing it off gently, especially since it hasn't happened all that often. However, I've been thinking more about the future and the possibility of eventually starting a family with this woman, which has led me to considering issues like this a bit more. Is it wrong of me to be concerned about potentially having children subjected to this kind of behavior and slash talk? Is this a major problem? Are my positive feelings for this person blinding me to the fact that this is a red flag? How should I handle this in the short term when she brings this stuff up? She had a troubled, abusive childhood, which is the rational part of me suspects is the cause of this. Advice appreciated. Thanks. Okay, wait a minute. Let me review something. So let's see. You're 29. She's 33. Okay, she's having these spiritual attacks. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this. How do I put this? I'm gonna try because I don't really want to offend anybody. Because there's a lot of people that do really do believe in this, but I'm gonna try to phrase this in a way that walks that politician middle line. There are a lot of people who believe in these kinds of things. Okay, as far as people's spirits, kind of hanging around after death. I believe that in myself, and I have too many uh, incidences where that happened. Okay, would it be the kind of thing where I go around telling people? No, it's something, it's a personal thing, and it's just this person had a message to tell me, or some comfort to provide, some directions to provide, a warning to provide. That's when I find they usually come with they want to warn you about something. And it's the same thing like when people say call on your ancestors, and then Ashe and all stuff, or the Native Americans do the chants, and the ancestors come, and the spirits of different people. I mean, so throughout history of mankind, there have been historically a belief in a connectedness that we cannot see and hear. Now, if you believe in angels and all them kind of positive spirits, then you have to, by default, believe in the opposite. Because, like, you have a left and a right, you have an up and down, in and out, hot and cold, yin and yang. Okay, for each and every opposite, that thing, each and everything, there's an opposite. So you can't dismiss this belief system off the top. What you can do though is if it doesn't make, because I'm the same way about, all the God and Jesus stuff, you know what I mean? So, there's people that swear by that. They swear that they see God and Jesus and all this stuff, you know what I mean? So, I mean, we don't know what people see, people. I'm not gonna. I just let's say that I'm not saying that. All I'm gonna focus on is what you said and how it's bothering you. So when something like this, no matter what is your partner's belief system, it could be religion, it could be drinking, it could be smoking, doing drugs, it could be I don't know whatever it is that they do or involved in or believe in or want to make an active part of their life. If it's making you uncomfortable, you don't like it, you don't want no parts of it, you think it's crazy and all that kind of stuff, then you leave that person alone. You don't, you're doing a really good job of not really, tripping with her about it and not blaming her and, even participating in it some to show your support. You're really doing a good job actually being in a relationship with this crazy woman. I have to give you credit. But when the fact now you're getting a little older, right? And so now you think, okay, well, if I have kids, and she gonna be like, what's going on? Because see, the women like this are the ones that be killing the baby, talking about the baby was possessed, that the baby was a demon, and all this kind of stuff. So I'm not saying she would, but I'm saying that these are the lines that a lot of the women who end up doing that kind of stuff. This is their belief system. This is how they behave. So I think that as you asked, is it wrong to be concerned about potentially having children subject to this kind of behavior slash talk? No, it's not wrong for you to be concerned. Is this a major problem? Absolutely. Are my positive feelings for this person blinding me to the fact that this is a red flag? Probably, because she gonna be shoving this stuff down your kid's throat. Is that what you want? It wouldn't be what I wanted. How should I handle this in the short term when she brings this stuff up? The short term should be you should start figuring out how you gonna get out of this relationship. You're only 29 years old. What are you doing? If I was your mama, I'd be like, get over there, helping you pack your shit and say, you leaving this crazy bitch now. I don't care what you say. But sir, I'm telling you, she had a bad childhood and stuff. If she never got any counseling for that, um, she's a very wounded and very damaged person. I mean, it's great that you love her and all of that, but you're not equipped to deal with this kind of mental and emotional issues. You got to cut girlfriend loose. So, I mean, it's sad that you really like her and everything, but you go what? You could like somebody else who's not all fucked up in the head because Deb don't do mental illness. So you writing to ask me how you should stick around with somebody who's off their rocker. You wrote the wrong person. Because I'd be like, boop, can't do it. Question number 6, female, 31 to 39, out of London. I love my husband and I want to make this work. However, he is from an, enmeshed family and he sees any criticism of that as a reason that the marriage won't work. We're seeing therapists separately, and as soon as I told him, mine said his family is dysfunctional in this way and how boundaries are healthy, not something to be fought, he immediately got defensive and said, this is why it won't work. I said, maybe we should go to the same therapist, and he agreed that we will. I really don't think he'll ever see it, and in the way he is, because he's from this enmeshed family, it will not change. He claims the reason they are the way they are is due to a huge trauma in their life, so I need to understand. So it's my decision to accept that and just change my behaviors and the way I react in order to, quote, keep the peace. The problem is if there's a boundary, and it always has to do with our child and what I'm comfortable with. Like, for example, they wanted her to stay overnight from a very early age, and I wasn't ready for that. Am I now supposed to just let it go, let them do what they want, even if I feel uncomfortable? Going with the example I said, I know she would be well looked after with her grandparents, so I can't see why I would have a problem. He doesn't see why I have to have any boundaries. We should all be one big happy family. He doesn't see that there's a hierarchy and everyone goes along with what his mother wants. Me coming along has upset the system and he wants me to fit into that system without questioning it. It's so hard, but I'm willing to try. I was hoping going through therapy I could make him see that it's not all me that's at fault, but he didn't want to take that way. He says I should be the only one going to therapy merely as it's me that has the problem, resisting his family and causing upset with them. We've been together for 15 years, married for 12. Wow. And you've been dealing with this for 12 years? I wonder how old the child is. Pretty much the same socioeconomic backgrounds, culture. They want us to be one big family, and that's what I'm finding hard to comprehend. I left home young and have had a very independent life. I'm wondering if I'm too clingy to my husband and child. Thank you for any thoughts you have on this. Hmm. Well, I make jokes about um, men with accents and not really wanting to be bothered and making jokes about people's mother-in-laws. That's not, I don't want one. And this is why, because the only bitch gonna be running some shit in my household that concerns my husband and my family is me. Okay, and then even in the Bible that people believe in, I don't know what it says in the Quran, but when the son leaves the family, he gets his wife, right? He's supposed to be, quote, cleaving unto her, end quote. So this man, I don't know if you guys are Christian, Muslim, or what religion you practice, but whichever one, the idea that he would put his mother before his wife and his own family is that's not supported in scriptures. Okay, so that's wrong. Now, whatever trauma that they had in their family, they should have all took their happy asses to a shrink. That's not your problem. As far as your young daughter spending the night at somebody's house, nobody, no, we're not doing that. Because this is my thing. When you got families that's that tight like that and bonded and supporting each other through thick and thin and ain't nobody doing nothing wrong, you fuck go along with what they say. If somebody did something to your daughter, you know what I'm talking about. One of them sons or uncles or something that's so enmeshed in his family, then they would close ranks and you would never know. And your daughter would say something, you go over there try to get it all set up and it's straightened out, and the next thing you know, it would be your fault and you're lying and you're against their family and all this kind of stuff. That's the mentality that people like that always have. They close ranks on anybody else and they protect the person that's in their family no matter what that person did. Is some very sick and twisted stuff. They would rather put all the rest of the young girls in at risk in the family than call up and draw up and put in get out of the family, put in prison, whatever. That individual that's ruining people's lives. That's why these kind of people run rampant in certain families. The families cover up for them, and that's what this is the kind of attitude and mentality that you have right here. So you sensing that, even though you didn't word, you sensed it as a mama, and you did not put your daughter in that environment unless you there watching. Good job. Good job. Now, what I want to tell you though is, a lot of people might think, well, she should just leave him. No, she should not do that until her daughter is away at college. You know why? Because if they split up, he's gonna have visitation. Where's he gonna have that kid? unsupervised over there with his crazy ass family. So even though you have to suffer, you've been together 15 years and married for 12. So say your daughter's about 11 years old or so, 10, something like that. You gonna have to stick it out for the nut till she, like I said, till she's old enough and can go away to college, and then you can file for divorce. But right now, why, as long as your daughter's a minor and he could have visitation and take her where he wants her to be, that would be a very dangerous and very risky situation for your child. You are so right to not go along with this. You sensed it, and I don't know how you're going to navigate this. Just pretty much standing your boundaries the same way you are now, saying no, but some things you're going to have to negotiate. Give a little to get a little, okay? Try it that way. But what a hot mess. You good, because I would not have, I couldn't have married a man like this with that kind of family. As soon as his mother, I saw them kind of, kowtow to his mama, and she thinking she queen of the fucking universe and some stuff. See, I would have been like, I'm the queen. Okay, and if you can't see me at the queen because you too busy hanging on your mama's skirt tails, well, then that means there's no room for me in your life. There's no room for you in my life. There's no room for you in my bed. There's no room for anything between the two of us. I got to go. And that would just be that. Yeah, she was very good about protecting her daughter. You stay to that. Question number 7, male, 31 to 39, out of San Jose, California. My girlfriend and I have been dating for 10 months. We have a great relationship most of the time. She has been hurt a lot, so sometimes she gets butt hurt, her words, not mine. She is a few years younger than me at 27 and has 2 young children whom I adore, and they adore me. We spend every weekend with each other and usually just hang out at her place or mine. She likes to get butthurt about things that are just silly. One morning I was home and I missed her call, and she instantly started accusing me of being dishonest about what I was doing. I told her I was doing some chores around the house, and when she called, my phone was in the other room on the charger since it had died. She tells me that what I told her was doing doesn't add up. I've never been unfaithful or lied to her about anything. Let's see, you're 31 to 39 and she's 27. Okay. A few weeks ago, she was texted a screenshot of someone that looked like me on a dating profile. She asked me about it and sent me the picture, and it is me. It's from a dating profile I set up 2 years ago that I haven't used since then. I told her the truth, and I think she believes me, but things seem different since that happened. Recently, she has started feeling that her kids are going to get overwhelming for me and that I'll pull back and walk away. I would never do that because this woman is unlike any other that I've ever met. She makes me feel so good about myself and has so much faith in me. I'm trying to be understanding of her insecurities, but they are so constant that it brings up some major insecurities in myself. I don't want to lose her, but I also don't like feeling like I'm walking on eggshells. She also tells me that she loves how understanding I am, but it's starting to weigh on me. I've been cheated on and left for no reason and would never do that to anyone. Okay, time for the big talk. Time for the big talk, sir. So you're going to tell her to get a babysitter for them damn kids. And the two of you are going to sit down and you make sure you have a few hours set aside because y'all got some serious talking to do. You're going to talk about the history of your relationship. You're going to remind her of how you were with your women, but how they were not that way with you. Remind her that you would never hurt her like that, like she's accusing you of, and how it hurts you to be accused of something like that you didn't do based on her trash from the past. Because she had evidently had men treat her that way, and she putting that hat on you when you don't deserve it. Okay, you need to remind her of that. Look at this face. Did I do that shit to you? No. So what are you doing charging me with a crime like that? Then this thing about the kids get overwhelming. You just flat out tell her, no, the kids are fine. The kids and I are fine. I love them to death. That's not the issue. My concern is how you relate to me. The thing that, how you get so insecure all the time and these accusations and all this stuff that you be doing is coming up butthurt and thinking, well, your understanding, my understanding has reached its limit. Okay, I don't have understanding anymore. It's time for you to fix whatever this problem is that you got if you want this relationship to move forward. Otherwise, we could just stop it right here. We could just put the brakes on this shit because I'm telling you, I cannot look forward to a life of this. This is not good. I don't want to live like this. Where somebody, I mean, you great, this and that. You tell all the stuff that she's good at, and you know how she makes you feel and all this kind of stuff. And I love you and all. You say all that stuff, but you say, but one thing I'm not gonna do is sacrifice myself and my self-esteem for to be in a relationship. Okay, so either you get your shit straight and stop this, or we're through. That's gonna be those are only two choices. So you figure out which one you want to do, and you get back to me. And then you go to your house, and then you sit there and wait for her to figure it out. Because it's time that you stop being understanding and that you call her on her shit. Okay, because that being understanding stuff, see, she feels like she can just continue to act a fool, and that you just gonna be quote understanding. No, I don't understand shit. It's like you speaking Martianese. I don't know what you doing, what you talking about. I don't like it. I got to go. So she just needs to, you got to kind of rear up on her and put her in check, essentially, and just let her know that this, the gravy train here has come to a screeching halt. We're not doing this no more. Question number 8, female, 20 to 30, out of Washington, D.C. Oh, here come the dust. I have been dating a guy consistently for 3 months. And to be honest, it felt perfect. We were getting along, we had similar values, and had great conversation every day, and our dates were always nice. Well, 2 days ago, he was telling me he missed me and he can't wait till I cook for him someday. He's attracted to girls who cook, and we always talked about him trying my cooking. Hungry fool. And then the next day he called me and told me he likes me, but he's emotionally not ready for a relationship and that we should just stop talking. He talked so fast and hung up that I didn't even get a chance to say what I was thinking. I messaged him afterwards and I told him I was thinking the opposite. I thought even he was going to make things official during our coming date. I was appreciative that he was honest with me and told him that I thought he was great and I wish him the best. He said some random stuff back to me, and this morning I woke up to see he had blocked me on everything. I just don't understand how someone can switch gears like that. Okay, you said make it official. That means you weren't official. That means that 3 months you was, the booty call person. Possibly, it sounds to me like a rebound. What it sounds like, his response is indicative of whoever was his woman found out, and she's like, you tell that B, that you're not gonna see her no more. And she probably was, she was like close by watching him, and that's why he hurried up and did it right before you could ask him a bunch of questions and get it into this whole big conversation. He wanted to meet her demands, which is tell her, and then get hang up and see what's done is done. Okay. Um, and then the blocking was most likely her. She went through and blocked you, because she's like, nah, she's not. This is over. And while he was asleep or in the shower or something, she was like blocking you. Either that or she stood there and told him you gonna block her, this and that. But either way, whatever the situation is, I'm just coming up with because that's what his behavior is indicative of. It just jumps off the page. But no matter what the situation is, that's not even the point. Why it happened. The point is that it did, and the point is that whatever you thought you was building with, dude, is over. So you don't. You trying to like stick it with some logical excuse. I don't understand how it could just be that way. How can somebody can switch gears? It happens when they're not invested in you. See, invested emotionally. He's just not. He just wasn't. You were just something to do. So, just call it next. Let's move on. Nothing to see here, people. Question number 9. This is from a young man, 31 to 39 age group out of Brownsville, Texas. So this is my quote side of the story, but I will promise to be as honest as I can. Oh, okay, it's not too bad. My ex and I have been dating for 5 months before we decided to move in together. It was a whirlwind relationship and things clicked between us in most areas. But about a month after she moved in, I started to get a little weird and accused her of talking to some guy. Because she wasn't, she got suspicious and went through my phone. She found that I had been watching popcorn on a daily basis and I had lied to her about stopping it as it had caused us problems in the bedroom before. She also found out that an ex that now lives in another country, Asia, had reached out to me on WeChat. It was nothing flirty or overtly sexual, just, hey, how's life treating you type of stuff. I had lied about blocking my ex because I thought my girlfriend's fears were unjustified. Oh, so you got busted in two lies in one fell swoop. So my girlfriend found out about the popcorn and me texting my ex at the same time. She broke up with me that day, but she hasn't moved out yet. I know it's partially because she has two cats that just moved in a month before, and she doesn't want to move in with her mom. She also told me that she enjoys my company and would rather do this than become strangers. I don't know what to do. I want her back. I've been giving her space lately and not texting too much. She has been going out with her friends more, but always comes home. But we still see each other every day, and she's sleeping in my bed while I sleep on the couch. She told me yesterday that she will need a while to find a place to rent. She will probably stay until January/February. Is this behavior normal? Does she want me to try and change to get her back? Please help. How you gonna change? You already promised her that you changed and you lied. So please explain to me how she would be believing anything that your lying lips say. Now, this thing here about her needing a place and all this old stuff, all this here, you tell her no. Get your ass out. We don't have a relationship here. The person who lives with me is my girlfriend. That ain't you. Get the fuck out. You can go to your mama's house. You can go to live in a tent in the park. I don't give a fuck where you go. But you're not going to be here taking up my space because I need my bed for the new bras I'm going to be fucking. That's what I would tell her if I was a dude. You ain't going to be playing me like that. Now, I know you want her back and all that kind of stuff, but you done told your draws on this one, sir. You done lied to the woman about all kinds. Please explain to me just after a month of moving in, that's when people usually on their best behavior. And you up there getting caught in two major lies. And you think somebody want to be with your lying ass? That's not going to happen, dude. So you just need to start fresh somewhere else and this time tell the truth. Okay? If you struggling to get rid of your popcorn addiction, you need to see a shrink. Okay? If you struggling to keep your exes out your present relationships, then block them so they can't text you. I mean, these are very simple solutions that you did not avail yourself of. So you lost your relationship. But one thing you're not going to do is let her stick around and be all in your face and being all convenient to stay there and all this kind of stuff and sitting there looking at you. Get that bitch out your house. So you got till December 1st. That's next week. Get the fuck out. Go realize there she can stay with her mother. She might not want to, but that's too bad. That's not your problem. What she wants. What she wanted was to break up, but she got what she wanted. Now she needs to go through with the rest of it and get the fuck out. Yeah, son done screwed up big time. Now, I mean, don't waste your energy on her. Just start fresh somewhere else and stop lying. Question number 10, female 40-49 from Winnipeg, Canada. I recently finished a project where I developed a crush on one of my employees. Oh. I waited until we finished and no longer worked together. Then I texted him to ask if he would help me with something and that I would repay him with lunch. He agreed. We didn't speak again until a week later when he turned up as agreed and we went to lunch. The lunch lasted 3 hours and I got to know a lot about him and I thought it was good. I texted him afterwards about gift ideas for his nieces and received some responses. No response to my final message, though. It wasn't a question. I then sent him a link to an article I was talking about through Messenger. It took him 2 days to respond with 3 words. I responded to that and I haven't heard from him since. He is 37, looking for Miss Right to start a family with. I am 42 and have a 13-year-old and have no assets. I really want to ask him out to lunch again. What are your thoughts? That man's not interested in you. What are you doing? I mean, you thanked him with lunch for helping you with that project, but whatever it was you called to ask him to help you with, and he showed up. Okay, but now he's wondering why you keep texting him. You have a 13-year-old son and you're older than him. And he's looking for Miss Right, and you know that you're not in that category, girlfriend. A man who has no children and is looking for Miss Right is most likely a guy like this, this little mover shaker type of dude. He's looking for a younger woman, probably somebody in the 30 to 35 age group is what his target is. And you're a little too old for him. There's nothing wrong with them. Women date guys a little younger than them all the time. That's not the problem. The problem is this guy. Okay, this guy is not interested in you like that. He's not texting you back. He's not really being very responsive. He's probably sitting there looking at his phone like, why she keep texting me? That's his lack of follow through is indicative of that mindset. Because a man who was interested, he'd be like, oh, hi. I was hoping I would hear from you, that kind of stuff. And he's waiting 2 or 3 days to text you back. He's not interested in you. So stop this. Okay, you making yourself look like an old desperate broad. Shut up, Ash. Ash said, sit down and sip a Gatorade for your thirst. But it's like, but anyway, the bottom line is don't do this. Don't humiliate yourself and embarrass yourself like this. This is terrible. You don't have no assets. Why don't you start working on that instead of chasing some dick? Okay, that's what you need to be doing. Building up some assets. I know it's hard when you're a single parent. It's really struggle. I mean, I used to work at 2 fitness clubs and had what you call it, private clients. That's where I made most of my money. Wasn't at the clubs, but I needed my benefits. And I was exhausted. I was so exhausted with all them years when she finally graduated from high school, and I look back at how hard I worked. I don't even know how I did it. I must have been in a coma the whole time. But I used to bust my ass. But it was just so that I could do what I need to do and build up some assets. And that's what you have to do. You can't just work your job. You got to have some side hustle. Okay. So let's move on. We got question number 11. We have 22 questions in total tonight on What the Fuck Tuesday relationship advice. Thank you for the super chat donations. Feel free to support the channel with a super chat donation, or if you prefer, you can use the Cash App. The Cash App, we don't have a commission taken out. YouTube takes out a commission out of these, unfortunately, but it's more convenient for a lot of people, so we ain't gonna complain. Either way, you contribute to my alcohol fund. Guess what? When I was in Costco, I sprung and got me some Remy Martin. I haven't had any in years. But this shit is so smooth. It's a change from my hen. Ah, a little smoother. But yeah, I was like, oh wow, let me get some of this. All right. This is question 11. This is a female 40 to 49 from the UK. I've been with my husband for 18 years, married for 12. We have 3 children. And I am so deeply unhappy, but it's my fault apparently. We married young, started as friends, and married impulsively. We never had great eggplant or intimacy, but at the time, we were both building careers, so that didn't really matter that much, and we had shared interests, so we were happy enough. He's very career driven, and if he isn't working, he's always with his friends, which is fine pre babies. But after we had the first child, became an absolutely shocking parent, useless and never helped. Has never cooked not one meal ever, done any domestic help at all ever. I will never forget cooking dinner for all of us, holding a 2-day-old baby while he sat on the internet watching me struggle. I became more focused on my child and no longer had a career but a job. We couldn't have both careers anymore when all the housework and childcare fell on me. And all I ever heard from him was how I don't work like he does. Oh, I don't know how hard it is for him. Blah, blah, blah. So now you spent years, so now you have 3 kids under 5. Okay, wow. We didn't do eggplant after child number 3 for 3 years. His selfishness and absolute lack of regard for me and the children was horrible. He spent most of their early years playing sports and going to the pub with his mates. He even missed our second child's 3rd birthday party because he, quote, forgot and went to the pub after football. I couldn't stand him by then. He offers no physical support and zero emotional support, too. His idea of affection is revolting. He makes pervy comments all the time. Oh, that's his idea of compliments. I can write an endless list, but one moment sums him up perfectly. Our oldest child had the stomach flu last year, and I was cleaning puke up off the floor whilst also feeling sick myself. And he comes up behind me and says, I like what I see, just waiting for me to do you up the bum, were you? While you cleaning up vomit, and that's what he thinks about? Wow. It's disgusting every day. If I'm dressed and wearing normal ankle boots, all he has to say is, you look better just in the boots. I go nuts and he makes me feel bad that I can't take a compliment, that I'm a prude. We fight every day about his revolting comments. He says it's banter and that I can't take a joke anymore. Is this normal? Wow. Okay. I just hate him, she sums up. She's complaining more, but I hate everything about him. I can't leave him for a lot of reasons. Cultural and financial are the big ones. Is there any return from this point? I don't give a fuck about cultural and financial. You have daughters, and your daughters are seeing you treated like this, and you think that shit's okay? Even if you would not leave this man for your sake, you leave him for your daughters. And what you talking about financial? Just the kids are older now. Y'all ass can get a job and you would be getting child support. Did you forget that part? You're not gonna just leave and that he's not gonna give no money for his kids. And if he does dare to try to do something like that, then you leave the kids with him. Okay? He won't have to pay child support then. He can just keep the kids there in the house. You move out. That's another option. But this reminds me of that movie, one of my favorite movies, War of the Roses, where Kathleen Turner's character tells Michael Douglas's character, I just hate you. I hate the way you look. I hate the way you chew. I hate everything about you. I just love that scene. But what you said reminds me of that. But girlfriend, there's no reason in this world to be in a relationship with a man that you can't stand, who is like gross and disgusting and unloving and unsupportive, and he doesn't do anything. And see, my thing is, after you had the first kid and you saw that he was all jacked up, what happened with kid number 2 and 3? You was doing everything for kid number 1 and couldn't work and all this other stuff. Why would you have 2 more kids by him? What was you thinking? You're supposed to get your shit sold up to make sure that don't happen. Not with him. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out, your reasoning and your logic and how you came to the conclusion that this was a good idea. But if I were you, I would talk to an attorney, explain the situation. You guys have 3 kids, and figure out what options you have to leave this situation. And because I think it is not going to be as much as you think. And just talking about cultural, who gives a fuck? Is your cultural living in the house taking all this abuse from you? You just find excuses not to leave. You want to bitch and moan, but you find excuses not to do nothing about it. And you can't do that here. So now you wrote me and got involving my nerves in this bullshit, and then you want to try to cop a plea. Well, it's my culture. Your culture, then you should have shut up and never wrote to me. If it was your culture's gonna keep you there, what the fuck you think I'ma do? You stay in the shit and you shut up and it's gonna keep happening, or you leave it. Those are your only 2 choices. You sit up there thinking you gonna change him. Has he changed in all these years? You had baby number 1, 2, and 3. Has he done anything different? The answer to that question is no. So I don't know what you thinking. Now I don't need another sip of that shit. That shit goes right to your head. I have to stick to wine. Woo! Okay, let's move on. This lady, question number 12, female 31 to 39 from Charlotte, North Carolina. I have always been quite sexually liberated and enjoy planning both long-term relationships and more casually. However, recent experience has left me feeling really horrible. I met a guy on Tinder. We spoke for about 3 months. We got together, did the do, and then met again after about 6 months of no contact. The second time was amazing. We spent the whole afternoon snacking, drinking, talking, and having mind-blowing eggplant. After that, he was very, very keen to see me again and was in constant contact. We arranged a meetup. We got to talking about what he likes and his fantasies. He has already told me he liked to dominate, so we agreed that he would come to the hotel room without talking to me, and we would role play and assault. I don't know why I agreed to this, as I'm not naturally submissive, and I'm also very loving and affectionate, and not someone who likes anything aggressive. So we did it, and actually I surprised myself, and I got quite into the role, but I could feel he was holding back, and maybe wasn't quite the experience he thought it would be. We then went out for something to eat and came back to have more eggplant before crashing and going to sleep. The next morning was fine, but he left and sent me one text later that day. Then silence. I got an immediate sense that he had completely gone off the radar, and from that moment on, I felt absolute rubbish about myself. I'm wondering if the whole assault thing freaked him out, even though he was the one to suggest it. That was 3 weeks ago. I keep wondering whether he will pop up again on my phone. I feel disgusted with myself and wish I had not agreed to it. Any advice on how to feel better about myself? Well, one thing I keep reading online is when people talk about stuff like this. So I don't know where this came from, but it's constantly regurgitated that that's women's number one fantasy is to be assaulted. I don't know who started that or what, if it's from a study of, 5 stupid women. I don't know where that came from or if somebody made it up. So I can't tell you that. I could not find the source of this vicious rumor, but it's often regurgitated as a fact, although no one could ever quote what study it's from or what researcher said this or nothing like that. They don't know. They don't know. They just regurgitate it. So I'm going to say this. It ain't no woman's fantasy to be assaulted. Okay? Now, in your case, what you do is you have this freedom thing. You want to just flip flop around and do all this stuff. Okay, that's fine. I never would tell a woman what she cannot do, sexually. That you do what you want to do. Protect yourself from pregnancy and disease and then go for it. And make sure you're safe and then do what you want to do. I mean, you big girl, I'm not going to tell you that. But what you have is a situation like this where someone is asking you to do something that's disturbing, that's against your morals, that's against your values, that if it were real, it would be a criminal act and someone would really be seriously, really hurt behind this. Okay, is that something that you would make that would even make sense to have a fantasy about? Sometimes you got to put the brakes on yourself. And this is one of those times. You were supposed to tell him, just like you're not going to piss on me, you're not going to poop on me, there will be no animals involved in this, and there's not going to be no whips, chains, blood, no bodily fluids, you have to have boundaries. And you just going along with this because some dude from the internet told you that was what he wanted to do and you had mind-blowing eggplant one time? There's something wrong with you. You need to see a shrink. I don't know what happened to you in your childhood that you have such little value on yourself like this, but you need to see a shrink and figure out what is wrong with you, that you would go along with some shit like this. And your mind knows it. That's why you having all these problems about it now. You feeling like rubbish and all this kind of stuff. This, you need to do something about this. This is wrong. It's great that you have all this, this freedom mindset, but when you think about it, has this attitude and these actions benefited your life in any way? Has it brought you more money? Has it made you more successful in your career? Has it given you an advanced degree? Has it improved your self-esteem, your self-confidence, your abilities, your talents, your skills? What benefit has all this fucking around with all these different dudes brought to your life? Because, most of the time you be sleeping with them, it ain't all that. It's just something to do. And then you get up and say, wow, I could have just had a V8. It probably would have been more satisfying than that shit. But, some women do it. So you really need, that's what's bothering me about you. There's long and repeated, there's something wrong. I can't even find my words, but there's something really, really wrong. This guy is a disgusting human being. And, instead of going along with this, what you should have done was sat him down and said, okay, so that's your fantasy. Why? What you thinking? What are you, how did you start to think that that's something that you wanted to do? You know what I mean? Ask questions and get in his head. And had you done that and found out that he was stupid and crazy, you could have said, oh, well, I'm not going to be doing that. So good luck and bye. You know what I mean? No, I'm not sponsored by V8, but I'm just saying. Wasn't that the commercial? But I'm just thinking about it like, shit, you could be doing something like that. I don't even know if that's in style anymore. I think people drink other stuff now, sports drinks and stuff. Nobody's really messed. That's so 90s. Question number 13, male 40 to 49 out of Philadelphia. This may seem like a strange question to send to an advice columnist, but I am positive there are thousands of people wondering the same thing, just too scared to write in. Oh, now I'm scared. I'm scared. When they start like that, it's like, oh, no. Yeah, vitamin water, smart water, all that kind of stuff. Those things, people drinking that kind of stuff. Okay. My question involves blowing up the toilet after staying the night. What do you do? I think we've all been there. Your body wakes you and you immediately bolt to the bathroom. Your inner workings require purging stat. How do you excuse yourself from this event? Sneak out to never be heard from again? Immediately clean the bathroom and pray your date didn't wake up from the foul stench of death filling up the room? Turn on a vent, relight a candle, start making breakfast, open a window, even if it's 20 below zero. Start a hot shower and blame the dog. What if she doesn't have a dog? What should singles do when the relationship is new and nature calls? Um, this is hilarious what you write. I mean, because if someone has a, and this is real too. If your body is working as it's supposed to, and your elimination digestive tract is working as it's supposed to, every morning as soon as you wake up or shortly thereafter, you should be having a poop. You should be pooping. Um, and then ideally after every meal. So that would mean that you should be pooping 4 times a day. If you have a proper digestive tract and you're eating food with enough, you're drinking enough fluid, and you are eating food with fiber in it. Now, you have people that poop once a day, people that poop once every other day. Those people are literally full of shit. They have distended abdomens and all kind of problems, stomach aches, all kind of shit be going on. Their breath is funky, all kind of stuff be happening because they don't eat enough fruit and vegetables, and high fiber foods, oatmeal, stuff like that. They eat processed food, so their bowels are blacked up. So likely when you have a person whose bowels are backed up, right, and they finally do poop, they gonna blow the walls off your bathroom, and everybody within 100-yard radius is going to die because of them funk. I'm just saying, we got at least one question like this every show. But this is from my work as a fitness, in the fitness industry. If your digestive tract is working properly, you would be pooping 4 times a day, minimum. Okay. So all of you who ain't doing 4 poops, you just nasty. You full of shit. You need to get yourself some fruits and start munching out an apple a day. That's a question you've always had, Miss Paula. Well, see, and it does happen. You don't need to take probiotics. What you need to do is eat some fruits and vegetables. Keep that shit moving and cut back on so much meat and stuff. You know what I mean? That meat gets in your digestive tract and it starts rotting. It's really not a pretty sight and the smell is funky. So, do something with yourself. But anyway, that would be my response. But you know what you could always do, sir? First of all, the number one thing is men don't wash their ass real good after they poop. So you should bring you some, wherever you go, you should have some flushable wet wipes that you can clean the cracks of your ass and get them residual poop marks off before you go get back in girlfriend's bed and put skid marks on her sheets. These nasty ass men do that shit all the time. Okay, then you making sure that you carry matches with you. Either that or a small canister of hair freshener. So you can spray it, the kind that kills odors, not the kind that mask it with flowery scents. And then, put that back in your pocket and go back into the room. And she'll never know the difference. But, that's just one of the things that just happens. As an adult, you're just going to have to live with it. You say, you know what? You can make jokes about it. My cousin used to make jokes about it. She said, when you first get with somebody, how you be scared to fart around them and you be holding it in, or you just run, you wait until you're outside and you kind of walk a distance away from them and let it rip and hope the wind direction doesn't change. She had me dying. It was so funny. But anyway, she calls it breaking the fart barrier. And, breaking a fart barrier where you could just lay there with your beloved and just let it rip and not get up and pretend to go to the bathroom and not, nothing. Just like, okay. And then you'd be like my husband. He thought, I don't know what's wrong with him. He would fart and he would like pull the covers over our heads so it would make me smell it. I was like, I would be dying. It's bringing back weird memories. Poop pooey. That poo-poo would get up and leave the room over some of these dudes. It's like, because they don't eat enough fruits and vegetables. They just eat meat all the time. That's what they eat, meat and maybe some potatoes or rice or something. So their poop smells like hell. It's just ridiculous. So that's my suggestion, sir. Investigate that. You'd be able to pick up something like that in, at a drugstore. Walmart, any kind of place like that. Just a little, what they used to call purse size. I mean, like this is called purse size, but for you, it's going to be pocket size. And you're going to bring that with you if this is such a concern. It is what it is. Okay. But that is, it actually is, he's right, though. It is a good question. I mean, but it's coming. It's true, though, right? Oh, question 14 of 22. We got 22 questions today. This is from a female 40 to 49 out of Kansas City, Missouri. There's a guy that, there's this guy, we've been in that kind of relationship limbo for some time now. We're not technically in a relationship. I guess we're more friends with benefits, but we're not seeing other people. We both have a lot going on in life at the moment and agreed the relationship wasn't right at this time, but we have feelings. You get the gist. We are both 40 years old, by the way. Leading up to when we first started talking slash seeing each other slash sleeping together, he was chasing me hardcore. With time, that kind of slowed down, but I understand it's normal. But then as more time passed, it seemed like it was shifting, and I was the one becoming the one who had to text first. Me, who always had to reach out to him. I even asked him about it. His reply was, I'm stubborn. What can I say? I wait for you to call me. Recently, I decided to see how long I could go without contact, and I went 2 weeks and didn't talk to him. So finally, I called him up and asked why I didn't hear from you for 2 weeks. And he said, well, I didn't hear from you either. And I said, but I always call. It's been 2 weeks. Why didn't you call? And again, he said, sometimes I just wait for you to call me. Deb, I don't know what to do. Should I just accept this, that this is how he is? It kind of feels like it's just to feed his ego. He always wants me to call him, so he always feels on top and is assured that I want him, etc. I guess always calling him isn't a huge deal. I call him when I'm free and want to see him or when I want to talk, and he always answers. But I feel somewhat slighted about it. Oh, that's it. Um, well, since it's just an FWB and you're not a really committed relationship, I don't understand all this angst. The only time you're supposed to call him is when you want some. So I'm confused what you're talking about here. You're like mixing apples and oranges. You know, he was chasing you because he wanted to get you into his stable of ponies. Okay, well, now you there. But you don't want to be there. You want a man who's, is after you and all that stuff. That means you're more ready for a real relationship now. Is that what's going on here? In which case you dump this guy because he's not. He's just a friend with benefits, as you pointed out. He's not what you were looking for. So you just cut him loose. That 2 weeks should have just turned into 2 months and then 2 years and you would have been fine. I mean, I don't know. But the fact that he's not, he wasn't calling you for 2 weeks and y'all just have that, booty call type of situation going on, that means he was booty calling somewhere else, right? You should understand what that means, right? You're not sitting at home twiddling his thumbs waiting for you to call. So if that's not what you want, like I said, you're the determiner of what you want. If that's not what you want, then you know what to do. Just dump him. Just, he wants for you to call him. Just don't call. It don't sound like he'll be too bothered. He probably won't even miss you. Well, it's nothing really to break up. It's just, stop calling. It's not like they together. It's not, it ain't that serious. So it's not a breakup. It's just a matter of her not calling him for the booty call no more. And that's just it. That's all. Question 15 of 22. This is a female, 18 to 21, out of San Rafael, California. Okay, hear me out. I know it's a ridiculous thing to be thinking about, and I hate how insecure I feel sometimes. Don't get me wrong, my friends are great. We're all 18-year-old white girls, but I like your show so much I decided to write you for help. Oh, okay. Deb, sometimes I feel like they criticize me internally, and it shows in the way we converse. Like there's this undertone of pettiness and competition. I'm not the kind of person that points out other people's flaws at all, and I love hyping up my friends. It's just so weird to me how rarely they compliment me. They easily compliment each other. There are three of us, and sometimes I just sit there watching the exchange. It only bothers me when I'm down about something. Is it because I never show them my insecure side? One girl in particular does this. We have been friends for more than 3 years, but my other friend and I have been best friends for more than 12. Sometimes she gets this weird look in her eye when she looks at me, like she's picking apart every flaw, and it makes me feel crazy. Why does she do that? She also makes an effort into complimenting my best friend and hyping her up in front of me and just ignoring me. Sometimes giving me backhanded compliments and subtle digs. I just don't get it. Does she think I'm ugly? I know I'm not ugly, but I get really self-conscious sometimes, like every flaw is on display. My best friend never makes me feel less than even on my worst days. Even am I being paranoid? Have you heard of anyone else having an experience like this? It's so strange too because the girl I'm describing is one of the most confident people on the outside, and I always reassure her when she asks and compliments her. I just wonder why she likes putting me down sometimes and how disingenuous she seems. Well, my question is why you let her do that? Okay, you wrote this very articulate letter. So it's like, you've been best friends with this with one of the girls for more than 12 years. So that's through most of your childhood. You're only in the 18 to 21 year age group now, and that's 12 years. That's more than half of your life. So what I would do is to, this, but I don't know if you are this bold, but this is how I would have handled this. I would have when she said this little put down thing, say, okay, I noticed that you like these little digs at me. What is that all about? Are you feeling insecure about yourself, so you need to put me down so you feel like you're better than me? Is that what's going on? Of course, she's going to turn red and hem and haw and bluster and bluff and try to figure out why you just busting her out like that. So what can she say? If she says yes, well, then you say, well, you need to stop because it's very unattractive and it makes you look stupid. Like you just, their self esteem is in the toilet, and you have to go around trying to build it up by trying to hurt other people. It just makes you into a broom riding bitch. Don't nobody want to be around you. Okay, that would be if she says yes, but most likely she's not gonna say yes because she's gonna be horrified that you busted her. So she's gonna say, no, no, that's not it. So then you say, well, what reason do you have then to say this, and this to me? What is your goal there? If it's not to try to make yourself feel better by putting me down, because from my perspective, there can be no other reason. And watch her squirm. The other thing you could do is ask her that, okay, if she still denies it, then say, well, okay, well, then the third thing and the final option here, door number 3, is that means she's in love with your friend, the 12-year friend, and she's jealous of you and she's trying to push you out the picture so she can try to make a play for girlfriend herself. See, that's her behavior is like that of a jealous person, a jealous, possessive man, a dude that likes a girl. And he, yeah, that nigga this and that nigga that. He's going to try to like make it seem like this person is so bad and their qualities are so bad that that woman shouldn't choose that guy. It's the same mentality at work here, but it's two females. Okay, so you said you've been friends with this girl for 3 years. Do you know? I mean, is she into dudes? Is she a fence jumper? Is she maybe just trying to find her way and just discover she likes girls? I mean, there's something going on. So it's gonna be one of them 3 things. So you got to figure out which one it is. Because when people have that attitude, it's my friend. You can't be friends with her because you're my friend, kind of thing. But I don't know. At this age, it's usually the interest is deeper than just friendship. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to be somewhat delicate, but that is the approach that I would take. So I would just jam her up, okay? And either way, you're gonna have your answer after you do that. So practice in the mirror, get your nuts up, and then blast her. Question number 16, female 18 to 21 out of Richmond, Virginia. I recently got in a relationship and we've been together for 3 months. It's really early in, but he's legit perfect for me so far, better than I ever could have imagined in a relationship. Wow. Of course, I've told one of my best friends about him. I usually don't like to say too much about new men I'm dating until it's further along, but I just been so happy and I guess I was excited to tell my friend about it. I briefly spoken to her about him about twice. I've never really said details about a relationship, but it's been clear both times how sprung I am. The first time I spoke to her about him was only 3 weeks in, and she asked what he looked like, and that's a pretty normal thing to ask, so I just told her his Instagram. The second time I spoke to her about him was yesterday. She asked me how things were, and again, I was saying nothing but praises about our relationship and how great things are. Then she said something along the lines of, I'm so curious how you two are together because I can't read his personality based off of his Insta. That isn't what alarmed me. Really? That would alarm me. Though, because she had said something like that when she saw his Insta when we first spoke, because he really doesn't look like my type. He's very flashy with his car and his clothes, and I'm very low key and reserved. I told her I didn't really know how to answer her, but that he's just like me, goofy, and we always laughing and having a good time. But since she mentioned Insta, I said his Insta doesn't really show how he is. That's just him being flashy. Then she pointed out, yeah, he wears brand name stuff. So I had to research one of them. It's really expensive and hard to find. Your friend is way too interested in your dude. She gonna go on the internet and research the brand name of his clothes? I didn't think anything of it. What's wrong with you? And just ask, oh, was it the picture on the such and such suit? And she said no, and then proceeded to tell me a funny comment from the post verbatim because she didn't remember what the picture looked like. Okay, you lost me there. It wasn't until I got off the phone and looked at his Insta to see what she was talking about, his newest post from a week ago. Am I bugging or is that weird? It makes me uncomfortable to think she could be checking him out or something. I guess it's possible she looked him up while we were talking, but it just doesn't seem likely since I hadn't been speaking about him for a long time and she even researched his clothes. Not only that, but she could remember what the picture looked like, but was able to remember a full comment. I hate to feel this way about a friend, but I just wanted to see if there are red flags when it comes to your friends and who you're dating. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, how old are you again? Oh, you in the 18 to 21 age group. Yeah. This is unfortunate part of your growth and development into womanhood. And you're getting to learn this lesson firsthand. Don't tell bitches shit about your man. Okay? Don't tell them nothing. That's why you hear so many older women when they get together, all they do is complain about they dude. Did you ever notice that? They come over, he ain't shit, he this and that, but they ain't leaving. Notice that? Or they talk about it's the negative stuff. Did you ever notice that? You know why they do that? Because it's like a pissing contest. It's like how dogs mark their territory. What they're doing is just setting it up because they don't want they don't want to portray him as being too good because they want to show that yes, he's all right. I guess I'll keep him, but he's the father of my kids and all that. But he ain't shit. He got flaws. He gets on my nerves. He's just not. That's why they do that. Now, in your case, you, of course, didn't know that because no other older woman told you this, but you keep your mouth closed about your dude and how much you like him and what he does for you, where y'all go, what he buys for you, what he buys for himself. You don't tell bitches none of that. Because the next thing you know, they be trying to figure out, calculate some kind of way where they can get your shoes away from the side of his bed and put theirs there. Okay? Because they like what you're telling them about your dude. Does this mean you can't be happy in your relationship? No, it doesn't mean that at all. It just means you're going to keep your mouth closed about details. Now, see, what did you do here? You gave if your man wanted that bitch to have his Insta, he would have gave it to her. You don't give nobody your man's contact information, not his phone number, not his email, not his Insta, not his Facebook, nothing. Nothing. That ain't that bitch's business what your man got on social media. I don't know what you was thinking. If you wanted her, she wanted to see what he looked like. You supposed to say he's tall, dark, and handsome. What you think? I'm gonna be with some mugzilla? Something general like that. She don't need to go and see his Instagram and sit there and read all his posts and click through and see all his friends and all this old stuff that nosy bitch did. You did this way wrong, okay? But you're young, and like I said, I'm not mad at you for this. I'm giving you a life lesson so that you do not make this mistake again. Now, what do you do about this friend? You're going to ask your boyfriend if he can block her. Can block her. Because you're wondering what's up with her, like all over his Insta, and that it's going to be a kind of a mess because you're going to have to admit that you gave it to her if you want to take that route. Either that or wait till you got access to his phone and go in there and block her yourself. Those are your only two options. But my friend, I would definitely have to talk to her about it and say, I'm wondering why you knee deep up in my man's page like that and looking up brand labels of his clothes and all of that shit. I didn't even do that shit, and it's my nigga. So what's up with you showing that much interest? I'm gonna tell you one thing: you bitch your ass better stop before we have a problem. There's no reason for you to be all over his Instagram page. Ain't shit there for you. Okay, something like that. And put her on notice and say this subject, and don't expect me to tell you nothing else about it. That's how you have to do people sometimes. Because their mouths is too big. They be telling too much of your business. But in this case, you told your own business. So, but don't do that anymore. Okay, you just be vague in general with women. They don't need to know the details of your relationship with your man. You know, don't do that. Now let's move on. Question number 17, female 31 to 39 from the UK. So I've been serious with the guy for over 2 months. Me, 37, him 30. Oh, he's young. I mentioned earlier that one of my girlfriends was upset with a guy that she was seeing. He then made a joke about bringing her into our bed, then said some stupid shit that he wasn't sure he could keep up with two women. I asked him, "Are you saying that you want a threesome?" And he replied, "I don't know. It could be interesting, I guess." How long you been there? 2 months. Okay. I asked him, "Okay, how are you?" Oh, wait. What the hell was that? I brought him up on it, and he was like, "I was joking." That's not funny, though, is it? I'm really put off now. Do you think that sounded like a joke? No, it wasn't a joke. That's the technique they always use. They always say some bullshit to you, and then when you get upset, then they say it was a joke. But then that's what you're supposed to say. Well, your career as a comedian just bombed because ain't nobody laughing, motherfucker. Your shit is not funny in the least. Okay, that you're supposed to start with that. Now, this thing, here what mistake did you make? I done told y'all, stop telling your men about your girl's business. I don't know why women want to do that. Talk about your damn self. Don't be telling no man about what's going on with your girl and her coochie, her body, her tatas, her man, her relationship, and her job, her paycheck, her bills. Nothing. Nothing personal about your girlfriends need to be told to your nigga, the one that you fucking. Okay, you talk to him about you. You don't talk to him about other women. You don't lost your dumbass minds. Now they don't have shit to talk about with the man, so they going to talk about their friends, this gossip and shit. That shit gets on my nerves. As soon as I find out that a friend of mine was doing some shit like that, I drop her. I dropped him. I just, we're not doing that. We're having your man looking at me all kind of crazy or trying to set me up with his friends and stuff. You can go over there. You can move in with her because she got space. Her daughter moved out, so she got all kind of room in there. You could live over there with her. She a good cook, too, all the stuff right now. We're not doing that. Yeah, I'm telling you, as soon as I find out that they said anything about what I'm doing to their man, the relationship is over that second because I'm not doing that. All right. Mm-mm-mm. And only dating him 2 months and he's only 30 years old and you almost 40. That's a bit too much, don't you think? But he done already showed you what he's made of and he done played his whole card. And unless you want to be with a dude who just sees you as a sexual outlet, even after 2 months, then you know what time it is. So at 30, he's just a hoe anyway. So just cut him loose. You need to be dating men in their early 40s, not some tyke in his just turned 30. Question number 18, female 18 to 21 from Mesa, Arizona. I am 19 and moved in with my 22-year-old boyfriend a few months ago, and everything's been great so far. We've been dating for like 4 years. He's very attentive and loving towards me most of the time, but he makes untoward comments that hurt my feelings every now and then. He also always tells me I'm too skinny, and he wants me to gain weight because he wants me to have a big butt and big thighs. Those comments bother me so much because I'm not even that skinny or have an unhealthy weight. I am slim, and I honestly love the way my body looks. I have small boobs too, and he also makes fun of them every now and then. He has even told me on several occasions that I look like a boy when I'm shirtless and topless, and I had to suppress my anger and sadness over these types of comments as I don't want to come across as dramatic. Wow, I have to add, he is a guy who's always joking around with everybody. So when he makes these hurtful comments, I just don't say anything and just let it go as he says them in a joking manner. However, it doesn't hurt any less, and I think I'm starting to resent him so much for it. Plus, one part of me believes he truly means it when he says I look like a boy and wishes I had a bigger booty, even though he says it in a joking tone. Everyone compliments my body from family to friends, and I actually like what I see in the mirror. Even though I'm pretty slim, I have curves and a small waist, so I don't really want to change anything. He also confuses me so much because he tells me he loves my body and is always touching it. Our life, eggplant life, is very good. He always wants to have it with me and wants the lights on so he can have a good view. I am torn between whether he dislikes my body or actually likes it. When I think about the many times he has mocked my appearance and asked me to gain weight, I feel really hurt and wonder whether he truly feels attracted to me. Either way, his comments have made an impact on me, and I've already started eating more and drinking protein shakes because I'm starting to think I may look better if I gain a little weight. I don't know if I should have a talk with him about how his insulting comments make me feel or just drop it. Any advice? Oh, you should absolutely have a talk with him about it first. Okay, you should have a conversation with him and tell him that his jokes are not funny, that they are hurtful, that it's come across as bullying and picking on you. Now, this is where it's going to get interesting because his response is going to tell you what if there's a future for this relationship. A, he apologizes profusely. Didn't know that it hurt you. Just thought it was just joking around. He does it with everybody. He'll never do that to you again. Babe, I love you, blah, blah, blah. No, you're perfect just as you are, this and that. Okay. That's scenario A. Scenario B is, oh, what you talking about? I was just making a joke. You too sensitive. Everything about you, you know, you ain't perfect. And I just tell you that for your own good and blah, blah, blah. That's scenario B. So if he does scenario B, then you know that your relationship is over. If you continue to stay with a man who tears you down like this, how subtly these ways, it's like, even water on rock wearing you down a drop at a time, it will wear a hole in ridge or crevice in that rock. So don't think that his words are not having an effect on you and breaking you down bit by bit, day by day. You're going to have to leave him to save yourself unless he gives you scenario A. I'm telling you. So if it's scenario B and he starts making any kind of excuse justifying his behavior, making starting to flip it around and making your fault for being, quote, too sensitive, that kind of stuff, then you already know what the time it is, and it's time for you to leave this relationship. All right? You moved in a few months ago. Well, it's time to move out. Okay? But you had a conversation with him first, and then if he gives you any scenario B, you start looking for an apartment and then move out and break up. Yep, because she's already starting to believe it. Depending on how slim she is, sometimes women, 5 pounds or 7 pounds or something, they do actually, look a little curvier and look a little more, I don't know, less angular. Let's put it that way. So it might be something that she, 5 or 7 pounds, she actually likes how it looks. He won't change the size of her clothes. She'll just fill them out a little bit more. That kind of thing, she might enjoy that. But that should be her decision. And she shouldn't be doing it to please him after he rags on her like this. It should be something she just wants to see what it looks like. And then if she don't like it, she can take it right back off. Or she can keep it. Either way. But it's very important. His response to your request that he stop is what's going to tell you if this relationship has a future. Be honest and look at his, what happens. Don't make excuses for him and figure out if you're gonna need to leave him alone to save yourself, because you will be just a wreck. Question 19, female 40 to 49 from Boulder, Colorado. I've just started online dating and I'm new to it. I was in a 15-year relationship that ended 3 years ago. Since lockdown started, I've started talking to this guy, Jack, about 3 weeks ago. I've been out with another guy, James, and she put quotes, so these aren't their real names, for 3 weeks. It was consistent, but there were no sparks. Since I had gone on 3 dates with him before lockdown, I broke it off. I posted about him on a message board on Reddit. Oh, okay. Well, I missed that. Now, Jack started texting me. Who's Jack? Okay, that's the one for 3 weeks. Started texting me consistently nearly every day since lockdown. He told me he wanted to meet up with me while on lockdown, but I said I wasn't comfortable meeting strangers since it's COVID. He was fine with it. I spoke to him on the phone once in the first week of lockdown. It was great to hear his voice. But since then, all he's been doing is texting me all the time. No calls for 3 weeks. And he's in his 40s? Now, I'm not big on talking on the phone either. Even with my best friends, we would talk for maybe 30 minutes and then we end the call. Could it be he's more of a texter than a caller, too? I mean, for 3 weeks, all he's been talking to me about is how my blog is doing, how I'm coping with the lockdown, and how my day has been, etc. Oh. It's getting kind of boring just having small talk by text. He did say that once lockdown is eased, we could meet in the park, which I was down for doing and don't mind giving him a chance. I'm a little bit scared that if there's no spark through texting, there might not be any face to face either. I just don't want to waste my time with guys I don't have chemistry with. Should I meet up with him once the lockdown has been eased? Absolutely not. What man in the 40 to 49 age group texts women like he's a teenager? This man's not interested in you. And all this talk you said he's talking about, small talks and stuff. He's not really trying to get to know you or let you get to know him. He's not. There's no effort coming in that direction. He's merely keeping you around so when the COVID, the stay-at-home order is lifted, then he can have somebody's the butt to tap because he's been in contact. And a lot of women translate, "Oh, I've been talking to him all of this time." Well, that means that we have a relationship of some sort. They get confused. It's like you forget you haven't really seen this man. You ain't been on no dates with him. You don't even know what he really looks like. You know what I mean? You don't know. You just talked to him on the phone and then you saw some text and some pictures on an online dating site. That's all you really know. So no, you're not gonna go anywhere with him, and no, you're not gonna try to meet with him. And what you're gonna do is tell him, this has been really interesting, but I've met someone else. So thanks for the time, and then sign off and block him, okay? Because he's stupid. You just get back in the dating game after 15 years. Girl, let me tell you what you in for. A hot mess. These dudes are crazy. And this kind of thing, I just did a video the other day on the emotionally unavailable men. This guy is just like a classic sign. I think most of the dudes online probably fit that category. So be careful, with getting rein your feelings and expectations in when you meet these guys. Don't just be talking to one. Talk to a dozen at the same time if you can get that many. And then let them weed themselves out. You don't sleep with them. Don't let them come to your house. Don't go to theirs. But, have conversation. Hang out. Check them out. See what's going on with them. And then move on to the next one because that's going to be about your best bet. They ain't about nothing. Question number 20. 20 of 22 of our show tonight. What the fuck Tuesday live stream relationship advice. If you're not already a subscriber to the channel, please hit that subscription button. And you can also hit that like button and most definitely share a link or 2 or 3. Got a lot of great content on this channel. Do you know we're going on 900 videos? I thought I might hit it by the end of the year. Now I'm not so sure because I'm kind of slowing down here. But yeah, just go to the video page and type in whatever search word you're looking for, and then all the videos, even the ones from years ago, will pop up. So there's a lot of content here, a lot of good stuff. So let's move on. Question 20. This young man, 18 to 21, it says Chicago suburbs. I'm usually a lurker, but I found myself needing advice. I'm 19, in college, and never had a girlfriend. I never even kissed a girl or held a girl's hand. Wow, I'm no stranger to rejection and have been shot down by every single girl I've been interested in. I try to not let it get to me, but it does, especially when all of your best friends seem to be naturally good with women. They're either always in and out of a relationship or they're hooking up with any girl that sees them. It's kind of embarrassing that I'm the one guy in our friend group that can't figure it out and everyone else already has and is successful. They don't make me feel bad about it and try to set me up with girls they think I might like or might like me, but it always ends in me getting rejected when I ask her on a date. I'm no prize, but I don't think I'm hideous. I'm told I have a good personality. I'm told I'm nice, amicable, and funny, but not successful on dating apps, not in real life, just nowhere. How do I stop feeling so bad about this and what might be wrong with me? Because I'm at the point where I'm really struggling to figure out what's wrong with me and how to feel good about myself when I see other people doing amazing and I'm in a state of consistent failure. This is interesting because I have told you ladies dozens of times. Men measure their manhood and their success in life by how many women they get. I've told you that so many times, and it's right here. It's just, I mean, he's just admitting it. But this is it. They feel like they're a failure in life itself. Don't matter how much money they make or whatever they have, if they don't have no pussy. Okay, they're a failure as a man. So understand, what your role is in them feeling like men. It's key. It's pivotal. It's numero uno. Okay? So every time they try to tell you, well, your pussy ain't shitty, and they're fucking lying. Okay? Thanks, Tara. Just lying. Okay, now for this young man here, you know what you don't, instead of looking at your friends and feeling jealous about it, because actually, you say that they're in and out of relationship, that's not successful. You just hopping around and just, with this one, that one, this one, that one. That's not really a measure of success. That means that your friends are good at maybe getting a woman's attention initially, but they're not good at keeping it. Okay. And for if someone who's got a serious mind and wants a like girlfriend, you have to, excuse me, you have to have what it takes to keep the woman interested in you over the long term. Your friends don't have that. So they're like moderately successful. I guess they can get a woman's attention, but they keep it? No. And you seem like you're a little bit more of a serious guy than them. So I wouldn't compare myself to those fellows if I were you. But what I'm going to tell you is um, this kind of attitude that you have it'll put you into a downward spiral where you don't have success with women, so you feel bad about yourself. So then you take that negative attitude and that low self-esteem back out to the dating pool and try to meet a woman, but of course she sees it, so then she rejects you because you have low self-esteem and are not a happy dude, and then you feel bad about yourself. And so it's like this never-ending cycle. So the only way that you're going to get off this is to stop feeling like you're a failure. Just understand that just means you haven't met the woman for you yet. Okay? Now, whatever it is, also as a woman, I'm going to tell you this. A lot of dudes overreach. Okay, you like the women that I'm interested in. Don't go for the women that you're interested in. Let the women who are interested go for the women who are interested in you. Do you have your eyes open? Are you looking? Okay, who's giving you the eye? Who's smiling at you? Who sees you and does her little hair behind her ears and starts doing all this here? Who does that? That's who you need to ask out. Stop going for who you like and go for who likes you. Okay? Because most of you young dudes don't have no sense anyway. You sit up there, you like somebody that looks like Beyonce or something. Somebody way out your league. You don't have Jay-Z money. So I don't understand what Jay-Z talent. You don't have nothing. Jay-Z rep. So what in the fuck you think you gonna do with a woman that look like Beyonce? You ain't balling like that. Let's get real here. Okay? The dudes need to lower their expectations and get realistic. And then you could probably get you somebody. But that's the main thing. If you dress raggedy, these jerseys and all this old bullshit right here, put on some clothes. Look like a young man. Look like you a successful young man. You will get attention of other kind of girls other that will look at you different because they're not gonna look at a dude that's sagging and got jeans on and jerseys and them big t-shirts and all that kind of stuff. They're not gonna look at you. Okay? But if you present yourself like a solid dude, you got on a nice little collared shirt. And, it don't have to be a long sleeve. Well, I guess it's wintertime. Now, a nice sweater or something like that. And then you got your little slacks on or some nice jeans and not sneakers, some real shoes. And you, present yourself nicely. Hello, my name is so-and-so, such and such. What's yours? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Have a conversation. Okay? But you can't, whatever it is that you've been doing, you need to stop doing it. But the main thing is change what you look like, change your hair, whatever, and, do something with that mug, go see an esthetician if you got jacked up skin, get your skin fixed, straightened up. And then, if that body's not right, you just wintertime now, you can hit some steel. Get y'all go to a gym or something. Y'all got sure you got a buddy that's got a weight bench and some dumbbells and shit at his house. If not, you get your own and work. Build you some muscle, look like something, and then go for the women who like you. That is a 5-step prong approach to success for young men with women. Okay, and have some conversation. Don't be talking about bullshit, sports and TV and all that. Your booty's so fine and this and that. Who you think want to hear that? A woman of class? She's going to be so turned off. trifling piece of shit. They always want to talk about some ass or something, some bullshit. Nobody want to hear that. A woman wants to hear that, but a man is interested in her as a person. Okay, so get your shit together. Oh my God, they just be just doing the most. And the sad part is that young men learn these stupid behaviors from older guys who tell them this. And then the young men end up with a baby mama that's a hood rat and wondering how their life is destroyed and stuff like that because you went for ass instead of class. I'm trying to tell you how to get you a woman of some class. And it's already proven highly educated, highly intelligent women deliver better eggplant anyway. So keep that in mind as well. Yes, it is annoying when they talk like that. And girl, you think at 25, imagine hearing that shit for another 20 years. Okay, you be in your 40s and they still talking that same shit. Don't nobody want to hear that. Your ass is fat. Motherfucker has been fat since I was 16. You acting like it's a fucking revelation. I know that. Tell me something I don't know. Oh, idiots. Ugh. Question 21. This is the next to last question of the evening. And young man, look at the chat stream and look at how many women are agreeing and telling you that they don't like that conversation. Dudes do it and women don't like it. It's a turnoff. Okay? So don't be like your friends. They're stupid. Okay? You strike out on your own path. Do what I told you. You'll have success with women. Don't listen to men. They're stupid. Female, 20 to 30 out of orange. Orange. Navel orange? Okay, so recently I have been meeting a couple of guys. I've come to the conclusion that I don't feel romantically attracted to them. I have been on several dates, but no intimacy. But I feel great friendship vibe. They are very good persons, and I want to continue to talk and hang out like friends. Have you ever become friends with people you met from online dating? How does the friendship develop/progress? Thanks. No, I have not because I refuse to do online dating. I would guess though that probably does happen, but I'm going to tell you this. Okay, you met a dude on an online dating site that asked you out and wanted to talk to you and stuff because he was attracted to you for dating. But you say that you met and you talked to him and you're not romantically attracted to them, but you want to throw them over there, throw them that friendship bone. Do you know how disrespectful that is? Do you know what makes you think that somebody want to be your goddamn friend when he's looking for somebody to love and bone? What makes you think that is even something sensible for you to say? You don't say that to them men. You tell them I'm not feeling a connection, or you just ghost them. Either one is fine, but you don't have to try to be around them and throw them some tidbit Scooby snack shit, talking about, oh, but I don't want to date you, but I'll be your friend. Man, I would cuss you out. If I was a dude or some bitch said some shit like that to me, I would cuss her bitch ass out. I'm not trying to be your friend, god damn it. I'm looking for somebody that I can love. And that ain't you, then bitch, stay on my radar. Get out of my life, stay out of my world. That's what you would get from me. Me throwing me no fucking friendship bone. That's a lot of nerve. So don't you do that, because you might run into a dude like me and cuss your bitch ass out. And you be sitting up there with your feelings hurt, trying to be, they're good people and I want to hang out like a friend. Well, they don't want to be your damn friend. That's not why they picked you on the site. Okay? Stop this. Some people got time to waste being your damn friend. He got male friends for that. Yeah, I don't want to be bothered. I don't know, because it's like I just be looking for the games, and it never fails. As soon as I meet them, they just can't be just authentic. They always have to come with some bullshit. And it's just at this stage of life, I don't feel like it, not even for 2 seconds. I just don't want to. Soon as they say something that sounds like a put down, some kind of negative assessment, one of their little nasty, snarky quote jokes, they want to ask me something that's inappropriate, touch me inappropriately, say something that's inappropriate, I'm done. It's a wrap. I'm done. I don't want to. And so, I've always been like that. Yeah, you get tired. You just get tired. They wear you down with nonsense. So you don't want to be bothered. So all you young people out there still trying to date? I mean, I go on dates, but it's like usually a setup or something. You know, some people, somebody I met on a casual thing. I'm not gonna be on no online dating site. Okay. Question number 22. This is the last one of the evening. This is a young man in the 22 to 30 age group out of Washington, D.C. He says, I messed up and asked the wrong girl out at a business I frequent. I got her number anyway, but I realized it wasn't the right girl later. Damn, I know that sounds crazy and unbelievable, but I had never really seen this girl without her mask on because she's at work and all this COVID mess. Oh, that's true, huh? I'd been going there to cash my checks for weeks. She always made sure she helped me. So we had some history and a bit of rapport, but I never knew her name. On Sunday, I built up my courage, got a nice shirt on, and drove over. She walks right up and she's not wearing her mask. I 100% think it is her. I ask if she's single, etc. Then I ask for her number. What threw me off was that she asked if I really came just to ask her out. Then asked how I knew she'd be there. I didn't. But then I started thinking, and this chick did seem taller, and it clicked. I didn't text her. I have a check coming tomorrow and will likely go in. We know coworkers talk, so I have to address it. Did I ruin my chances with the girl I am really interested in, though? No, because it's gonna be funny. Because you're gonna go in there, and then you got this is time when you to get to be your G. You put your G on, so you're gonna go to the girl who you accidentally got the number and say, I owe you an apology. So you're just gonna be bold with it. You're not gonna wait for them to rib you. You're gonna be the one that brings it up. So I owe you an apology because I realized that since with COVID, everybody's wearing a mask, so all I really know what you look like is in the top part of your head. And I came in here to get her number, not yours. I mean, you cool and everything, but the one I really want to talk to is her. So I want to, like I said, I just want to apologize. That's why I didn't text you back because I realized I made such a mistake afterwards. And, no hard feelings or nothing. You a lovely lady, but, that right there, that's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to hook up with that. And so, or whatever language you want to use, but you're gonna just tell her and make a joke about it and say, don't make it seem like she's ugly. Or that take all the responsibility and say, I just because you seeing somebody like this is like everybody got on a burqa or something, and so you just tell her that, and then you go and ask the other lady like, now that I really am here and I'm this is clear. May I have your number? I would really like to take you out and get to know you outside of the check cashing environment, if that's okay. Let's see what she says. Yeah, I'm just telling you, if I was a dude, that's what I would do. I'd be copping so many pleas and be talking about how I could see and I didn't know. And y'all do kind of look alike, except I thought about it later. And she's a little bit taller than you, isn't she? Or something. I don't know, whatever it is. I'd be copping hella pleas about my stupidity as a man. And I would take all them L's as long as I got that number. Stay focused on the goal, my brother. Stay focused on the prize. Whatever crow you need to eat, slap some ketchup and hot sauce on that bad boy and go to town. There's no problem. Yes. Shut up, Ravania. Oh, this is too funny. But that's what I would do. Okay. So, it's all in how you play it. And even if she's kind of in her feelings, feeling kind of some kind of way because the other girl came and guess who can ask me for my number? You know what I mean? You don't know what happened with that you're not privy to. So there could be something in that, as it could have hurt her feelings. So she might be a little, no, I don't want to give you my number, this and that, blah, blah, blah. In which case you have your number already prepared and you slide it in there when you give it your check. And you say, that's okay. I know this was kind of, kind of a messed up situation, but, if you want to talk to me about it and stuff, there's my number. And I see it's you, I'll answer. Don't you worry. Yeah. And then you little niglet, get yourself a bank account. Go over there to some credit union somewhere over there in Washington, D.C. or wherever the hell you are. Is that what it said? Yeah, Washington D.C. Get you a credit union. Start building up some kind of something like that. Get you a credit card. You can be a secured one. Start building your credit up. You a very young man, but it's time for you to start getting yourself together. So when you hit 30, you got your shit straight. You can't be using cashing places. All that money just going to waste. That is too much. Credit union, not a bank. Bank eat you up with too many fees. Go to a credit union, and you can use the ATM for free as long as you use a credit union ATM. Stuff like that. People get nickel and dime to death with these banks. They don't even realize it. Go and put your money in a credit union. Okay, that's what you do. So anyway, that's our show for today on What the Fuck Tuesday with Deborrah Cooper here on the Threesome channel. We talk about dating and relationships. All the videos have some point, some aspect of relationships advice here for you to have a better relationship, make smarter choices, protect yourself, learn how to establish boundaries, increase your self-esteem. There's so much on this channel that's here to make you a better woman. Okay, for you young men interested, there's a playlist of videos for men, especially for the young ones, to get you on the right track so you don't turn out to be what we call a dusty. You don't want to be a dusty. You do not want that. Okay? Don't be a dust mite, a dust bunny, none of that. It's not attractive, and you're going to be limited to the kind of women that you're going to get. They all going to be the dregs of society type chicks. Okay? So don't do that. If you want a really nice woman, you got to up your game. And I'm trying to help you do that, dude. The first thing you're going to do, next check, you go in there, you're going to do that. But then after that, you're going to go, because you got some business that you need to attend to. You got some stuff to straighten out this time. I'll give you this one time. But your next check, you're going to you got time to research your credit union, and you're going to take your check and you're going to join up, okay? And none of this. Save some of your cash so you have cash to carry you over while they hold on to the check for the 2 or 3 days they usually do that. You got it? Well, you guys have a great Thanksgiving. Have to hang out with your family, even if you don't celebrate it. It's still, we don't really. It's not no pilgrims and all that old stuff. Well, what do we do for Thanksgiving? We use it as a time to get together, drink, and act a fool. So that's what we do. That's what my family. That's our Thanksgiving. But I hope that you guys enjoy your time with your family, eating some good food. Enjoying each other's laughter and smiles. Remember to tell everybody that you're with that you love them. You can't never say that enough. Okay, you can't say that enough, and you definitely want to say it before it's too late and they can't hear you. All right, you guys, I'll see you next week. All right, talk to you later.